We're
Hey
back.
everybody, Real Pastors are here on our new time on Fridays. Are we sticking to the 1 o'clock on Fridays? I can't remember what we said.
Sounds good to me. We're
Yeah.
we're live on Friday, just like we promised.
hmm So
Movie
to
talking
talk
time.
about movie talking time, we'll be having our episodes and such on Fridays for now on because it's just easier for us to do. But hey, we're excited about it.
hmm
We're hoping that means for all you guys out there, it's so much easier as well because
hmm
let's be real, who actually does work on Fridays?
I can't think of anyone.
Yeah.
The
No,
days
no.
the days I have to work on Friday, I just kind of stare at the wall. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. In case whoever's watching, I do stuff.
Right. Yep. Yep.
So, what better way than spend a Friday to talk about movies with
Oh
us,
yeah.
two
Yes.
normal dudes?
And I'm excited to talk about movies. However, I do need to say a quick go Braves. They're up 3-1. I'm very
hmm
excited.
Hope to
Very,
close it
very
out
excited.
tonight.
Hopefully so.
Yeah.
But before we get off on a tangent and we get Gary started on baseball,
No.
or either
Yeah.
one of
Trying
us
to.
really.
Yeah. I was
Let's
trying to get my comments to a minimum because next thing you know,
yeah.
it'll be 15 minutes later, and you'll have inning by inning breakdown of last night's game. And that's not what people are here for.
No, that's not what they're here for. So
No.
we're here to talk about movies. And so, in talking about movies, we're just going to jump right into this. And the first one to come up, maybe some of you have already heard about this. And oh, hold on. Apparently, I forgot I have a new computer, but we can go ahead and start talking about it. Um, is that you probably would have heard about it, but Soul is going straight to streaming. And
Yeah.
and I don't know, Gary. What are your initial thoughts about that? Now the movie Souls by Pixar and Disney.
hmm
It was their yearly, movie that's coming out,
hmm
which has been cool because it's something new and it's something
hmm
different.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But what do you think, Gary? What are your thoughts? First initial thoughts on this?
Not surprised. Really wish it wasn't the case because I was hoping, like we talked about a few weeks ago, that this was going to be something they were holding back to get people to go back to the theaters. His original story, it seems like. I don't know a ton about
Right.
the movie. I just know the main character looks like Stanley from The Office, and
Yeah.
but but yeah, I mean, when I saw this, I wasn't. I was bummed, because you know my thoughts,
Yeah.
getting back to the theaters, but with other news that we read this week, it's not surprising.
Unfortunately, not surprising, and it is. And just side note, talking about characters that look like it. My kid got a little toy from McDonald's, I think it was,
hmm
with this character on it, and they looked at it and they said, "Hey, it's Dom." And
Oh,
so they made me,
oh
since
yeah,
they
it does
got
look like
three of
Dom.
them, yeah, since they
Yeah,
had three of them, they made me give one of them to Dom. So if you see it in his office,
nice,
that's why. But yeah,
nice Dom.
at the same time, I do wonder though, is this one of those things where maybe since they advertised it, maybe it was a situation where Disney just kind of looked at it and said like, this may not be a big huge Pixar hit like they're used to because it's something a
hmm
little bit different. And maybe it did need like a lot more time in theaters for it to catch on. People are like, oh, you have to go see this movie. And with everything
hmm
going on, they're like, let's just release it on Disney
Yeah,
Plus and just kind of leave it at that. Maybe like a let's just cut our losses on this one kind of thing.
yeah.
Um,
N-
but I don't know.
Now is
But at the same
this?
time, it's like families need something to take their kids to.
hmm Yeah, is this a Mulan type of release on Disney Plus, or is this a normal release on Disney Plus? Like, do you have to
That
pay
has,
extra?
yeah, that has not been made known yet. I'm hoping,
Okay.
honestly, I'm hoping they go the route of like we did with Artemis Fowl, where
hmm
they're on there and just let you watch it. Um,
hmm
but it has not been made known quite yet if they're
Yeah,
going to try to charge you the $30 or not. But
yeah.
I think that goes down to which honestly we haven't. It'll kind of segue, I guess. But it just I think it's also maybe a debate with Black Widow. And if they
hmm
do release Black Widow on Disney Plus, I'm sure they're going to want to charge for that. So if they do
hmm
this and Black Widow back to back, no one's going to pay $60 to watch both of these. Maybe we'll see. We'll see what they say.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So, but
Yeah.
that's what's happening there.
And Disney kind of has the lead on everything because other studios I read yesterday are following suit.
hmm
Um, Coming to America 2, the Eddie Murphy movie
Yeah.
is now going straight to Amazon Prime instead of theaters.
Apparently, Amazon paid a pretty penny to get the
Mm-hmm.
license for that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but they also paid up for My Spy, which we did a review on.
Uh-huh.
If you haven't
Yeah, we
seen that,
did.
check that out.
Yeah. Check
But
that out. That was a good review.
it was
If I
so.
don't say so myself.
Yeah. But yeah, and gonna be first, so why not? And something like Coming to America too.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just take the gamble on that one?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're still seeing this move of going straight to streaming. But when Disney does it, that's when people really start to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
And that's people haven't paid attention, but that's when people start like, is this going to be the trend? Is this what's going to
Yeah.
happen? And
Yeah.
which I think is a good segue to the next point. But go ahead, Gary.
Well, I was just saying, it's kind of like what you said. This is it's a new movie, new idea. This isn't, Toy Story 5 or,
Yeah.
something like that, or an Incredibles 3 that's going straight to streaming. So it's
Hmm.
not extremely alarming as far as theaters and stuff like that, but it is, this seems to be the trend that is starting,
Yeah.
like you said.
Yeah. Hopefully it is. It's just new IP stuff like that. Hopefully it's just let's cut our losses on this. Let's just get as many people as possible to
Mm-hmm.
watch it, and we'll work on whatever's coming up next. And before
It's
we
nice
move
to see
on,
Dom in a movie.
yeah, I know, right? A movie he probably won't watch. But
Yeah.
we got Josh here saying hey,
Josh, hello.
and we got Daniel here also saying hey. Welcome, guys.
Daniel, welcome back, Daniel.
Glad you are part of this. Glad to see you guys with us. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, it's good to see Dom starring in a movie that he won't watch.
It's about
But
time. He's a classy guy. He's got the look. He's got the glasses.
yeah,
Cool haircut. Don belongs in the movies.
yes, he does. So, but in talking about Disney and all that kind of stuff, probably just go ahead and staying on task here, if you don't mind, Sir Gary.
I don't
Is
mind.
there have been reports coming out that Disney is looking at just focusing on streaming, not so much theatrical release movies. That this is what they're kind of pushing, and of course for guys like you and I, it's like why? But
Hmm.
honestly, Gary, like I'll be honest with you, this doesn't alarm me too much. And
No.
here's why. Like because I feel there are certain things, I mean, look at this. I picked this picture for a reason, Gary. Look at
Yeah.
everything they freaking own. Like, look at everything
Wow.
under their umbrella. Yeah, I know, right? Like,
They
it's
own the
crazy.
stars.
Yes, all of them.
How did they do that?
It's the mouse, man. You
Oh,
have no
I
idea.
thought
The
those belonged to
mafia of
Abraham.
the mouse.
Dang it! They pulled off the. Wow.
Yeah,
They bought the galaxies.
I know. That does. I mean, Star Wars first, and then they won the
Yeah.
war apparently and
Yeah.
got the stars.
Yes.
Lame dad jokes
Star.
for the day,
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen.
that's what we're here for. Hey, boom. That's top notch right there. I'm gonna sip some coffee on that one.
There we go. But
Yeah.
at any rate, so if you look at all this, I look at some of this stuff, and I'm just like, okay, like, you really think they're gonna move all the big Marvel projects out of theaters? Like, I doubt it. I mean, those are big money makers. You think they're gonna move any future Star Wars out of theaters? I doubt it. If they do something with Alien stuff like that, I doubt they're gonna do all that on a low budget so they can try to make money back on streaming. But I think what it might be is right now during this time, until things get back to normal in the sense where everyone is going back to theaters, like it was before COVID. I just think it sounds like to me they're just gonna really push on getting stuff on streaming, so people have something to watch and they can get something out there. Like for instance, like WandaVision coming out, Mandalorian coming out at the end of the month. Thank God for that one. Was Falcon Winter Soldier, like really
Yeah.
starting to focus on these things and get these things out to keep people excited, because all these things are kind of like just little placeholders until the actual tentpole movies come out. And that's where I kind of think, at least it seems to me, where that's where their focus is going to be, is let's make sure we get this stuff out to tie in everything. But I don't think they're completely abandoning theaters. I mean, Disney has been a proponent for theaters and such. Honestly, I wouldn't be one bit surprised if Disney ends up, trying to buy a theater chain or something, because it just makes so much money for them that I don't think they can match in streaming.
Yeah. So Disney should buy all the theaters. That's how we save them.
Yeah, that's probably what ended up happening.
Yeah, I mean, this. When I read this, I was like, well, duh, like of course. I mean, you look at that list of stuff. I mean, of course, Disney Plus, ESPN has their own thing. Hulu is literally everything is streaming, and if theaters aren't around right now, of course they're going to focus on streaming. And I'm
Hmm.
not going to be too alarmed by it because I think it's obvious. I mean, you have your own streaming service. You want to point people to Disney Plus. Okay, yeah, I'm
Hmm.
I'm I'm, I'm on it constantly, and where I will start to wonder about the future of straight streaming is if these big movies start to go straight to streaming. I think when it comes to Disney, I think Black Widow is the big one. You
Hmm.
know, if they come
Yeah.
out because they haven't said anything yet. If they come out and say okay, because that's the next, isn't that movie wise? That's the next big Marvel movie, right?
Yeah, that's basically what we've been waiting on. Is
Yeah.
that?
So
Yeah.
if they come out and say, you know what, that's going straight to Disney Plus, then okay, Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I
yeah, I
mean,
mean,
I
you know,
agree. We'll see what they do with Black Widow, but even if they, I mean, I still think Black Widow should come to theaters because I think it's late. Me personally, I think it's late enough,
hmm
to release it and still make some money off of it. But I think the difference with that and with like Mulan is going into it. Mulan didn't have a whole lot of buzz. A lot of people
hmm
really weren't excited about it because they actually made an action movie. They didn't make a musical, so that turned
hmm
off a lot of people. And then all the stuff surrounding the star who played Mulan and what she said about China and supporting
hmm
China, and then all the stuff about they filmed with concentration camps or something. I don't know, just all that crazy
hmm
stuff. That some of it I was
hmm
like, I really don't care. I just kind of glanced over
hmm
it, but it
yeah,
just had so much controversy around it. So like that wasn't a big deal. But I don't know anyone who's like, I don't want to see this black movie. On the contrary, I have people that are saying this black movie should have came out like years ago, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
before Endgame. So, but people still want to see it. People are
hmm
excited about it, but I don't know. We'll kind of see. They still might, obviously, but just
hmm
don't know if people would shell out the $30 for it. But I don't know. We'll see.
yeah, but
But it is
yeah, I mean,
Disney, and all eyes is on Disney. And
hmm
Danny here says, if that means I never have to hear another incarnation of Let It Go in extreme Dolby surround sound, so be it.
oh man, that's funny. That's funny.
That's top notch comment right there.
I was exactly what I was about to say. You know.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
Uh,
I don't know. Like there hasn't been a whole lot of like confirmation and stuff where people are saying like, where Disney's like, "Yep, this is what we're doing. We're abandoning theaters." But there's the
hmm
alarm has been sound like, is this
hmm
what's going to happen?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna focus on streaming because right now that's pretty much all they have. Um, so we'll see what happens. But so
Yeah, but like what you said, it's like this is what they have, so it kind of makes sense.
hmm
I don't know if people should get too freaked out by it.
no,
People like us, anyways, who love theaters.
no, yeah, yeah. So
You know? But speaking of theaters,
yeah.
here we are. We're gonna bring up AMC here because AMC came out with that came out with an interview with a statement saying that like, listen, if things don't get back to normal, uh,
hmm
we're gonna run out of money.
hmm
Is the short version by year's end. And
Yep.
and AMC being the number one biggest movie theater chain in the world, uh, that caused a lot of alarm for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And with this being the case, it also makes sense. I think we talked about last time that AMC is like, we ain't shutting down like Regal is
hmm
because Regal is the number
Yeah.
two biggest chain. And like we're not doing that. We're staying open. We need the money.
hmm
And so what do you think, Gary? Like just hearing them say that. Like not other people
Well,
speculating or thinking. Like AMC has came out and said this.
hmm I mean, yeah. People can't go to the movie theaters. People don't go to the movie theaters. They don't make money, and the amount of money they spent before COVID for everything they were doing to revamp their theaters. What is it? The A list, you know,
Mhm.
that type of stuff. I think it's upward. I mean, they're in, you know, I think I'm not certain, but I heard billions of dollars of debt, maybe.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money, and it was the whole like, okay, spend money to make money, and then COVID. So they're
Mhm.
in the same boat that sadly, a lot of businesses, small businesses are in. And if we don't get new movies, we don't get people back to the theaters, they're going to, yeah, I mean, there's no possible way for them to stay afloat because people aren't going to the movie theater.
Mhm.
It's very sad because that's a lot of jobs.
Mhm.
I know a guy who's the manager over the Palladium. And it's just we talk about we wanting to go to the movies because we love to do it. We love to watch movies. We love that environment. But the step beyond that is this is how people make money, from the theater workers to everything that goes behind it.
Mhm.
It's a sad thing.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And I
if
think people forget that. I think that's a good point that like
mhm,
whatever theater you have like around town, wherever you live, like that is a franchise. It's like a McDonald's. There's someone who owns
mhm,
that specific location, like a real
mhm,
human being that you probably know, have said hi
mhm,
to, or excuse me
mhm.
at Walmart or whatever. You know,
Yeah,
like
or get out of my way at Walmart.
yeah, exactly. Probably more
Sorry.
realistic at Walmart. Get out of my way. If you're at Target, oh
Yeah.
excuse me,
So,
sir.
or yes, exactly. Pardon me.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like a real person who have real stake because they own this. Yes, it's AMC chain, but they own this specific location, and
Hmm.
they have people that they employ and all that kind of stuff. And what makes it even harder is like AMC does this corporate thing where they have the corporate stuff that everyone has to do, right? And so they
Hmm.
talk about how there'll be no refills on popcorns or drinks and all this stuff because of COVID. Like you don't want to exchange
Hmm.
hands and stuff too much. Which to me, I was like, if just give someone a new bag, like I don't, but
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
So then people will be like, well, if I'm going to pay $8 for a large
Yep.
popcorn without a refill, why am I going to buy it?
Hmm. Yep.
And which makes no sense because let's just throw it out there in case people don't know. Movie theaters make money off of concessions.
That's why
They
they're
don't
so
really.
expensive. That's how they make their money.
Yep.
Yep.
They don't make that much off ticket sales.
Mm.
The longer a movie stays in the theater, then they get a bigger cut of ticket sales. But that by that point, there's less people watching it because they've already seen it 2 or 3 times. So, but
Hmm.
the first like 2 to 3 weeks, I think like 90% or something like that, or maybe 80, I can't remember, of the ticket
Yeah.
sales goes to the studio and then the
Hmm.
theater, and then it switches the longer it goes, like the percentage changes. So that's why they're
Yep.
so expensive. So even if people are going to the theater, if they're not buying snacks, guess what? They ain't making
Mm.
money.
Yeah.
They can't pay bills.
Can't pay
And,
bills.
and so for me, I think AMC kind of shot themselves in the foot with some of that.
A
Um,
little bit, yeah. I mean, we said a few weeks ago. Whoops, hit the mic.
uh,
Uh, I respected the approach of we're gonna fight for it, but you can't stay open if you don't have movies to show.
mhm,
And you know, not. I mean, we'll go see Empire Strikes Back soon, but I mean,
yeah,
people aren't running to the theater to go see older movies as much as you and I would. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
it's
Yeah.
just
I will
it's
say
it's
this
a sad thing.
as a bit of good news for you, Gary. I've
Yeah.
been checking the AMC app because I'm an
Hmm.
A-lister. I haven't turned it back on yet because I want to turn it
Hmm.
back on when I can actually go back. But I was
Yeah.
checking it out because around here, they open up this weekend, and
Hmm.
every single showing for the entire weekend from today through Sunday is completely sold out.
Is it
Granted,
really?
yes, granted,
Yeah.
it's only 40% capacity,
But
but
still, that's
so
encouraging.
yes, that is very encouraging. Heck, I'll try to pull it up right
Hmm.
now and see if that continues or if it was a glitch. But I checked like the website, I checked my app,
Hmm.
so that is kind of encouraging. But there just obviously just needs to be way more than that to keep these theater chains open.
Yeah.
Um, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. Um, all right, so now they've opened back up. They've added a few more times, and I guess they've adjusted some numbers because now not all of them say sold out, only a
Hmm.
couple. So it
Okay.
looks like they've made adjustments, which is cool. But
Is this
people are going.
for is this for like Empire Strikes Back or Tenet
Oh,
or Bill
just
and
every.
Ted or
Yeah, I'm just looking at
everything?
just everything they're
Gotcha.
showing.
That's
Um,
good.
yeah. So, but it's one of those things, man. If you're watching, you're a movie
Hmm.
theater lover, you want to go to the theater, get that experience. Like, even if you have to go by yourself, if you don't want to take your family or something, I get it.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
support as much as you can,
Yeah.
uh, so that way these things don't change or something like like. Listen, we joked earlier about Disney buying movie theaters. That's good and bad. It's good because they
Yeah.
stay
Yeah.
alive, but that's bad
Yeah.
because then that means odds are the only thing you're watching is whatever Disney puts out in those theaters. You're not going to watch anybody else's stuff.
Yep.
So it's kind of,
Hmm.
you know, It's kind of good and bad.
Yeah.
But,
So
and
yeah.
I don't know if you check this out. Dana says if Top Gun Maverick goes straight
Amen.
to streaming, he will not be happy.
Amen, Daniel.
So there
Amen.
are so many movies where people are like, "Yep, I can't
Mm-hmm.
have that."
That movie
Yeah,
belongs in the
sure.
theater.
Yeah,
Hey, Sherry. That's me, Sherry. So
there you go. And
yeah.
Daniel, I haven't read this, so I'm just putting it up here. I do believe they said yesterday
Mm-hmm.
they would go back a phase if the numbers keep going up, and yes, it's a high single day record confirmed. Oh no, yeah, if it goes
Mm.
back, that will not be good. That's talking about North
To the
Carolina for those watching.
to that I say, okay. Appreciate your
I know.
comment, but I don't want to go on a tangent, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but honestly, at this point, I just wonder if theaters are just going to like, whatever, we're staying open,
Yeah.
like because they really
Might as
can't
well.
afford it. Like they just can't. It's
Well,
just
yeah. I
too
mean,
much.
especially around here, if AMC is getting the 40% capacity, stay open. If people are gonna come,
Yeah.
stay open as long as you can. Wear your
Mm-hmm.
mask. Sit down. Shut up and watch your movie. Sorry.
I know. Yeah. If you're eating your snack,
Sorry for the
fine.
language.
Maybe stick some popcorn in your
Yeah.
mask and chow down.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I would
So
choke. That'd be dangerous.
that's all right.
So,
So
yeah.
continue down here um, through our news, and this one's actually kind of
News.
exciting, and this is something we can
Mm-hmm.
continue to just talk about here. And I just found this poster,
SpiderVerse.
SpiderVerse. I doubt that's what it is,
Yeah.
but Spider-Man 3 is
Yeah.
now. There are now rumors going around that have kind of been confirmed, but not officially confirmed, right, by
Mm-hmm.
Sony or anything like that.
Yeah.
That Spider-Man 3 will have a Spider-Verse. Andrew Garfield and Tobey
Mm-hmm.
Maguire are reportedly going to be in it. Now, this is
Mm-hmm.
coming in after it already has been confirmed about Doctor Strange being in this movie, and we were kind of
Mm-hmm.
speculating, like, what does that mean? Is he getting another mentor? We both said that's kind of lame.
Yep.
But it looks like that may not be the case because when they
No.
announced Jamie Foxx, and he himself confirmed he is going to
Yeah.
be in the third one. And then now we have this. It's looking more and more like we are getting a live action Spider-Verse. And this excites me because
Me
obviously
too.
I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. But
Yeah.
being a fan of Into the Spider-Verse, the animated movie,
Mm-hmm.
it was almost like Sony said, hey, that worked. Why don't we do it
Mhm.
live action? People would love it. And I don't know. I'm excited, but Gary, I've been talking way too much. Go ahead, sir.
Oh yeah, bring it on. This sounds amazing. I'm not the biggest fan of some of the Andrew Garfield stuff or you know Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire. I'm not the biggest Tobey Maguire fan, but I appreciate what he did as Spider-Man. But this I loved Into the Spider-Verse, and to see a live action take on that, I will be there day one, night one, wherever to see this because bring on the Spider-Mans.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
please bring them on. And the thing is, it's like, Kevin Feige came out a while ago when they announced the Phase 4 stuff. Kevin Feige came out and said that Doctor Strange. Oh, there's the wife in the background.
Hey Kay.
Gary says hi. She probably has to get back to work, and I am in her office space. But
Uh-oh.
she's out. And but he
Bye,
came
Kay.
out. Bye. But he came out and said that that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was gonna be a huge game changer for MCU, and it was going to bring a bunch of new elements. So it was almost like he was saying, like, kind of how Civil War was like the big turning point for the MCU at that point, and leading up into Infinity War and all that kind of stuff. He was talking about how like Doctor Strange was going to do the same thing for the MCU into going into this next phase of things. And if this is the case, and this is what is going to end up happening, like having the Spider-Verse really changes so much about what could happen and where they could go in the MCU. And so not only am I excited for Spider-Man, and this is like if I tell you to talk about the Red Sox, so I'm sorry that I'm not just going
I
off.
get it.
But
You have the floor.
thank you, sir. But if this is what they're doing, first of all, the Spider-Verse itself, aside from anything else MCU, is a huge just universe, obviously different universes that they could delve into and not have another MCU movie, if you will, and they could just do the next 10 years based on Spider-Verse stuff because there's just that much junk out there. But but having that, and then having the different versions of let's say like a Tony Stark or whatever, like all these other characters. There's just so much more they can do that they can go
Mm-hmm.
across. And now this is just me speculating. With this being the case, opening up the universe and stuff like that, and plus the time travel stuff that we saw in Endgame,
Mm-hmm.
um, this could be very much a lead into King the Conqueror, who is this guy who's from the future. He blames the Avengers and for messing up the future, so he tries to come back and kill them. So
Oh,
that way he can save his future. And if you don't know his story, there's other more personal reasons why he does this, but I won't spoil it in case you don't know. But it's like, so like
okay.
he's like the next step up from Thanos, the next
Okay.
big bad. He's from the future. He has all the future tech. Even Tony Stark is like, in the comics, obviously for MCU he's dead, but even he's just like, man, I can't match this guy technologically. So it's just a crapshoot for everybody. And so
Wow.
this could even open up stuff for that villain to come
Mm-hmm.
through, and it could just, anyways, there's just so much they could do. So I'm really open. This is all true. The last, Doctor Strange, Jamie Foxx is
Mm-hmm.
that Electro, that was true. Hopefully
Mm-hmm.
this does happen, because if all that happens, as I am just speculating, I have no proof, then they're
Mm-hmm.
going to need all these Spider-Man plus
Yeah.
everything else to take
Yeah.
this guy out.
Yeah. What better to bring in the next phase of MCU than a Spider-Verse, like you said? It's
Mm-hmm.
exciting, and you add in Doctor Strange and Jamie Foxx, and honestly, I mean, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire. What else are you guys doing right now? Just do it, okay? You
Yeah,
know,
I know, right?
just do it. I'm not the biggest fan, but just do it. It'll be cool. All right.
Just do it. Tobey
Like,
Maguire, just embrace the gray hair, embrace being
yeah.
the older,
Don't
more seasoned Peter Parker.
don't
Like, just do it,
dance.
man.
Just do it.
Yeah,
Just
don't
don't.
that.
Just don't dance. Do you
Yeah,
really want your last Spider-Man experience to be that movie? Come on, come back.
exactly.
You
Come
know.
back. Granted, he did think he was getting Spider-Man 4, but still,
He did. That's true. Yeah.
yeah, but still,
He
like you
he
can do this and do
he
better. That's for darn
he
sure.
danced his way out of that one.
Yeah, he did.
So
Yeah. So hopefully those rumors are true,
yeah,
and I really really want that to happen. But
yeah,
that's just,
cool.
yeah, that's just me. So um, that's the news we have for the day, and
That's the news.
so now for a little bit of just talk, and hopefully maybe some other comments and people chiming in here with us, because we like
Hmm.
to hear it too. We talk about our favorite movie theater experience. Now we had to, at least I did. I was under the impression we had to pick one, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, good, good.
um,
So how about
yeah.
you go first, sir?
Okay, so last time when I did the show, I talked a little bit about this. I shared about watching Friday Night Lights in the theater and Raiders of the Lost Ark in IMAX when it was
Mhm.
re-released. So today, I really trying to figure out what exactly would be my favorite if I could just talk about one. And I'm gonna say going to see Inception with my now wife while we were dating is probably gonna go down as my favorite theater experience. We
Mhm.
went and saw it together. We were both just blown away at just how great it was. Went over to
Mhm.
Outback Steakhouse afterward, ate some bloomin' onions. You heard me right, and some steak, and talked about the movie. One of our favorite dates, and yeah, a little bit of nostalgia there, a little bit of sentimental value. But going to see Inception with the wife while we were dating is probably my favorite theater experience. Just the epicness of that movie on the big screen, you know. So honorable mention. I know you said only one, but all the Dark Knight movies in the theater. So
Fair enough.
there.
Fair enough. Yeah,
So.
which is understandable. I mean, those,
Hmm.
I didn't see Batman Begins until later on in theaters. I didn't get like the
Hmm.
full room and stuff. But Dark Knight, I
Hmm.
did go see on a legit IMAX in Orlando, and
Oh,
that was legit. So
I'm
Dark Knight
sure.
Rises as well. But
Yeah.
um,
Mm.
yeah, so I know. So for me, my favorite theater experience, um, which is ironic because it also goes back to a date with my now wife that I had,
Mm.
and yes, very very exciting, and so mine goes back to, we were just talking about Spider-Man and such. So growing up, and I have to give a backstory. So growing up, we not we Jacksonville, like in the St. Augustine, the World Golf Village, they had a legit IMAX. Now at the
Mm.
time, this is when this IMAX, I think it was pretty much every IMAX. All they really had were like documentaries and stuff like that, like National Geographic type of stuff that was filmed with IMAX cameras. You can get look at the cool mountains and the Arctic and all this kind of stuff, which is what a lot of the stuff I ended up watching because school field trips would always take us there because it's a place you can get a bunch of kids to sit down, shut up, eat popcorn, and watch this movie. It's documentary for stuff, and it was just like so. I remember watching one on the Arctic and watching one about something about the mountains. Honestly, I can't remember exactly what that was about. It was just kind of, I guess, just like nature in the mountains and stuff. We talked one about African Sahara stuff, and then I saw one about the I think it was called Jordan to the Max. It was a Michael Jordan documentary.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that came straight to just IMAX. So that was pretty cool. But then like this is when they decided, you know what? Let's release a mainstream movie, and if once we release this mainstream movie, let's kind of see if we're going to keep releasing movies into IMAX. And the first movie they decided to release was Spider-Man 2. Again, so granted, Tobey Maguire with Doc Ock, Alfred Molina as Doc Ock and such. That was the first one they released to really start testing the waters of will people go to an IMAX theater to watch normal movies, and so this was something that that I had come across, and I was just kind of like, I don't know, this is true. Katie had saw it. She's like, do you want to go? I was like, if it's real, let's do this. So we go and we watch it, and it was just watching that movie. Him swinging through the subway, the subway stuff, everything about it. It was just phenomenal on that huge IMAX screen. And I had my big huge thing of popcorn, like I was ready. So not only was I on the date with my future wife, which makes everything better, like what you said with Inception, but it was just like it was just amazing. It was great, and they released it right before Spider-Man 3 came out in theaters too. So it was just this double whammy, and so it was that seriously. It was great because we went. The theater was packed. It was packed. Like tons of people were just like, we want to go watch this. So of course they picked the best one of the trilogy to show what was smart. And apparently it did so well that look at it now. Now we're getting tons of movie in IMAX. So once again, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man sets a new standard for all of us. So you may not like Tobey Maguire, but at least thank him for getting movies, Tenet, and other stuff on IMAX because it was his movie that made it happen. And it was just great. It was just a fantastic experience, and I'll never forget. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is great. Yeah, it's great. That's cool.
Very cool. Here you go. Here you got your aunt. Mine.
Yeah, Aunt Sherry. Yep, Independence Day. Great speech. Aunt Sherry took me to a lot of movies, including Spider-Man 2. I went to go see that with her and my cousin Josh. Mighty Ducks 2. Saw that with her. And Independence Day. So. And
I like that she puts out there, best speech in the history of alien movies. Can we just say best presidential speech period in movies? Yeah. I don't know any other presidential speech that tops.
Next presidential debate, let's just play that on a loop for 2 hours.
Yes.
Let's just do that.
Yeah, that would be so much better.
You ain't kidding. Ain't kidding.
Yeah. So there we go. So there are our favorite movie theater experiences.
What are some of yours? Comment, let us know. And over the next week or so, we'll look at the comments. Maybe we can talk about them on our next episode. So maybe some stuff we forgot to mention.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you guys. And if you had any other scoops or ideas or theories of anything else we talked about, leave that in the comment as well. We would love to hear and continue to talk. Obviously, we have this channel because we love talking movies, theories, everything, anything that we can. So we love to bring that up. And make sure to join us next week because Gary had a brilliant idea that we should do an episode on, yes, you did, on theater etiquette. And we can actually
theater etiquette.
So we can have some fun with it. We can talk serious, but also make some good jokes or just talk about stories of nonsense we've personally seen. And if you have any stuff that you would like to add to that, whether it be funny or serious, let us know in the comments as well. We will talk about it next week.
How should one conduct themselves while attending the theater?
Yeah.
Join us next week. We'll talk about it.
Yep, and it'll be great. So thank you guys for joining us today. And be on the lookout. Make sure you turn on that bell because we are looking at uploading more videos if movie news and stuff like that comes along. What'd I say?
No, my Aunt Sherry, she
Uh,
We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this next week. But my brother during the Sixth Sense. Yep.
oh man.
Get
Okay.
ready for that story next week.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
So I look forward to seeing that, hearing about that then.
yep.
Yeah, make sure you
Yep.
turn on the bell. You don't miss out on future videos. And
Ding.
and yeah, and so we'll see you guys next week with some theater etiquette. It'll be a good time.